Howdy, y'all, and welcome to the Cyber Ranch Podcast and the Audience First Podcast. What you were about to hear was recorded live at the CISO XC Conference in Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. It's my very favorite conference. I am your host, Allan Alford, CEO of Alford & Adams Consulting, and I have a co-host on this episode, Dani Woolf of the Audience First Podcast. On her show, Dani interviews security buyers so vendors can more efficiently market and sell to them without ruffling their feathers or pissing them off. What we're doing on this joint endeavor is interviewing various CISOs and other folks about their roles in cyber. This week's show focuses on the pros of cybersecurity. We covered the negatives last week, and this week we cover the positives. My listeners should know by now that I like to end on a positive note. Without further ado, let's get started.
So I'm gonna hit up the first question.
Do it.
What do you do, and why the hell do you do it?
I am CISO, and I enjoy doing what I do because I get a chance to make an impact to a lot of individuals, not just a one individual. I get a chance to reach out to a lot more people and make an impact on that.
Love it. Super inspiring.
It's very inspiring.
Yeah.
So that's the positives. That's the good stuff. You get people that ask you, I want to do what you do. What's your advice for them?
Why?
See, now we're getting somewhere.
No, actually, it's what I always say, right? The being a CISO is also this is one of the career where it's also rewarding, challenging, and fulfilling. You don't get that many career that you get a chance to do that. Either a lot of careers it's rewarding, but not challenging or fulfilling. This is one area where you get a chance to do all.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Well, it's super inspiring. It's super optimistic. What's got you hopeful moving forward?
I'm always optimistic person, so it's always an opportunity to help somebody. It's always an opportunity to talk to somebody and help out and reach out to somebody. So it's always there.
I love that. That's all I got.
Yeah.
All
amazing.
right. Coolio.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All righty. So tell us what you do in cybersecurity and why do you do it?
So I'm a managing director and I work within the defense sector. I do this because I'm a prior airman. I was in the Air Force and I absolutely love the opportunity that this country has provided me. I am a first-time naturalized citizen. So serving the country, got out of the service, and now I work within the defense space. So absolutely passionate about helping out our warfighters, airmen, and getting them the best technology possible.
I love that mission. If there's one piece of advice you would give someone who wants to be in your spot, what would it be?
I think for me, if you have a chance to serve. So a lot of security practitioners, we all come from different walks of life, but when it comes to learning cybersecurity, you can't go to a better place than serving in the military. So you don't necessarily have to serve in cyber, but if you have a capacity to serve, go serve. And then if you don't want to go to the military, serve locally, serve within your community. So that's always been done really well for me. And I think that will be the number one advice I can give to any professional that's listening in.
That's awesome. So serve is the key theme there. I love that. I love that message. Pivot. Let's get into a positive story. What's got you hopeful?
I think what's hopeful is events like this. So, Allan, I want to thank you for inviting me. I never heard about this XC event, so I got to meet Dani, got to meet a lot of other people that I think I've known you for how long?
Like 6 years now.
Yeah, 6 years, right? We've never met and things like that. So I like it that we're out of this, not meeting people COVID season, and now we're starting to collaborate a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the more positive thing. Because last year or a couple of years ago, people were doing things online, and you just can't build a relationship that way. So that I'm hopeful. And then also, Sonia Wickel is speaking. I'm looking forward to hearing her. I never thought that I would meet her here, and we've been working with her for quite some time.
Welcome to DFW.
Yeah, that's right. So it's a big surprise. So
yeah.
I'm hopeful that people are collaborating more, and that's a positive thing for me.
Amazing. Well, thanks for coming down here.
Hey, thank you for grabbing me. I know you were super booked, so I appreciate you just, slide me in here, and this is awesome.
Absolutely, man. Thanks.
All right, here we go. All right, how about you tell us what do you do and why do you do it?
All right, so I do cybersecurity within the defense, and I do it because I served in the military. I served from 2005 to 2014, and when we were downrange, we had some technology, let's say Blue Force Tracker, for example, and very terrible technology. And now, hopefully, can get better technology into the warfighter's hands, and that's really really mission-driven, and have a lot of experience in that realm. So, looking to help software companies bring good technology to the warfighter.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. So, what's your advice for somebody that wants to do what you do?
Well, I always, if you're interested and you're passionate about this field, right? Especially now with AI and things like that, that you have, embrace continuous learning, because that's what it's going to take, to beat our adversaries. We need continuous learning, and we need to continuously improve and ensuring that your teams are integrated together, right? Infrastructures with DevOps and sales is, everyone's embedded together. That there's good cohesion, there's good communication, and so anyone that's coming in this field, cyber is very broad, right?
Yeah.
You can go into either GRC. It's really what you're passionate about.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So, but I think cyber's not going away. It's going to only scale more and more, and I think that we definitely need more better people in this field.
I'm pulling on threads.
Do it.
Here we go. So you said embrace continual learning, collaborate with team members. Where do you go to learn, and what are some recommended resources that you could direct people to who are maybe coming into the space?
Sure, and again, it really depends on what you want to get into. If you want to get into GRC, then start studying regulations. Start studying ISO. That's very lightweight. And then you can work your way up to things like FedRAMP and RMF and things like that, right? And then you'll have no hair like me and some other people right in that field. Or if you want to go into DevOps, container security, right? There's certainly a lot of material around there, and DevSecOps, shifting left, containerization, Kubernetes, things like that. A lot of material out there for that. I use Code Cloud, like for virtualized testing environments. If I want to go deploy a container or Kubernetes, I can go test that in their lab. And so if you're really interested about DevOps, I really like Code Cloud for that, and then Pluralsight's a good site.
Yeah.
Udemy has some really good courses as well for like Security Plus and some other security training. So tons of information out there. Could probably do a whole podcast on what materials out there. But those are just off the top of my head.
That's great.
Awesome.
That's a great list.
What's got you hopeful, though? Let's kind of put a positive spin on this.
Sure. Yeah, I mentioned a lot of passionate people out there. I think this generation, they have AI at their fingertips, right? So building things is a lot easier now, and people are very passionate about solving complex problems. And so that I am hopeful for. But I think also I'm hopeful that some people are wanting to serve, right? I think that, serving is very important. That's how I initially got up into this field. I haven't been in this field very long, 10 years maybe.
Yeah.
But I really just immersed myself and started talking to people and collaborating with people. And I really think that some of the people now in this generation, that they're way better at that than I was at that point in my career. So I am hopeful. A lot of really smart people out there solving really complex issues. So.
That is incredible.
I love it.
I love it too.
Yeah.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All right. So what do you do, and why do you do it?
I have not figured that out yet. So what do? I'm a chief information security officer for a credit union local to Dallas, Fort Worth. Eat, sleep, breathe cybersecurity, information security. Why do I do it? I value the mission. Well, that's part of it. What we do is important. We help people every day from a retail banking perspective, and part of that's making their dreams come true, buying a house, purchasing a vehicle, getting out of debt, anything.
I love it.
That's really good. That's really good. So what's your advice for anybody that wants to do what you do?
Keep grinding.
Nice.
That's about the best it can be. Don't stop learning. Continuously grow. search for opportunity, find value in everything you do.
Find value in everything you do. That's all right. Let's dig into that one a little bit. I'm going to pull the thread now. Danny's the thread puller. I'm pulling the thread now. Let's talk about that value. What does that mean to you?
It could be anything. It's what drives you.
Yeah.
So what makes you wake up and have that cup of coffee, which is what I tell my kids. I go to work to buy coffee to go to work. So it's cyclical, but it's always a stepping stone, and everything you experience, you can get something good out of, and that's what we're looking for.
I like that. All right, so what's got you hopeful then?
That paycheck every week that comes in. No, I think again it goes back to why we do what we do.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's a level of protection and service, but at the end of the day, it's the shared goal and mission that why we're in an organization, and hopefully you believe in it when you're working there and doing it, and if you're not, then maybe it's time to move on.
Right.
But that's the driver.
Yeah, reevaluating those life choices may become a thing. But no, that's brilliant. I love the driver. I love the positive part of that.
You got to stay positive in security.
Yeah, you do.
Well, how do you stay positive?
Kids.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're my outlet. So I shoulder my work. I don't take it home with me. Sometimes that's hard when I work from home, because then it's already there. But then it's, let's go do sports. Let's go throw the ball. Let's go do yard work.
Yeah.
Just something to take our mind off anything and everything that we're doing and really focus on family.
That's beautiful, man.
Beautiful. Yeah, well said.
I love that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yep, thank you.
All right, so tell us what you do and why you do it.
All right, so my name's oh yeah, I can't do that.
Yes,
right?
we're not doing
we're
that.
Not
So
doing
close.
that. See, it just shows you. I don't care as much about the anonymity, but yeah, we're pretty transparent. But anyway, so what I do is I am our CEO and certified CISO, and act as vCISO for a lot of our clients.
Okay.
Mainly manufacturing, also transportation. And and so that's kind of I kind of guide our company through that.
Okay. You do what I do.
Yeah.
Right on.
What's your motivation for doing that?
So basically, the word protection, and and also leaving a legacy, making a difference, basically, so that, because as has been mentioned many times here, the threat actors are often way ahead of the protection mechanisms that we have in place, and it takes a true mindset change to get, especially whenever you're dealing with what I deal with, which is, C-level execs, board members, and one of the things that is that I'm seeing that worries me, on one side it's good, on the other it's not, which is, for a long time, compliance has started to lead cybersecurity efforts. And so instead of having it as a check against the efforts, they're starting to lead, and if they can check a box, then they feel secure. And I've always been in giving presentations, compliance is not security. And then recently, what has happened is we are getting all the cyber liability insurance questionnaires. And the problem with those is half the time the insurance companies don't know why they're asking the questions they're asking. They're not asking good questions. And they're asking questions in a way that creates loopholes for themselves later.
Yeah.
If you can't say 100% yes, and they don't give shades of gray. It's a black and white. It's a very binary answer. But now we're seeing that if they can check that box, now that leads to their decision making and everything, versus a true cybersecurity methodology, which is, John Kindervag's zero trust methodology.
Yes.
So that's what we base everything on, that. And then, your frameworks, whether that be NIST, and the latest one is great because the new update has the governance around the thing, which is great. That's part of my CISO certification, is all around governance. One of the pillars, right? And then the CIS controls as well. Mm-hmm. And then very, very soon, especially in this area, we're going to be delving into a lot of CMMC, because it's, once things affect the government moves at the speed of lightning, and often not well, but they move and they make decisions, and it's coming in December. It's happening, whether people want to put their head in the sand or not. So,
all right. So what's your advice for folks that want to do what you do?
I would say, first of all, adopt a security mindset, which is, what are we doing? What is it that we're doing? A lot of people come into this from IT backgrounds, some of them programmers. I've been both. Yeah. And so converted us about 6 years ago to a true MSSP model. And you have to adopt you have to go from a mindset of keeping it up and keeping it running to knowing that it's okay to shut it down if it's not secure. So it's the opposite mode of thinking, and you've really got to get yourself out of that box of trying to keep everything up and running, or people will be upset with you. And that's the other part of it. You've got to have enough of a high emotional intelligence, a high EQ, as we say, so that you can be yelled at for things being down, and yet you know that you are inherently more secure because it's not still running. So that's
so in the CISO versus CIO debate, sounds like you're siding with the CISO on that one. That uptime is secondary to
uptime
security.
Is secondary. Yep, security. We don't want something insecure moving fast.
So again, this is, I love going down this rabbit hole. So this, you state your advice, but listening to this seems like quite a mindset shift, but also potentially difficult for some folks. What are some steps people can take to be prepared, to be confident, to make those decisions and potentially delegate and get the skin in the game, if you will?
One of the things is almost every C-level, almost every decision maker understands privacy. And if you can make it relate to them personally, so if you can say, how would you feel if your information was available everywhere? Every little thing that is unique about yourself. What if that was available everywhere? What if that gets fed to a large language model? What if we can emulate you? What if we can create a duplicate of you, a virtual duplicate of you? That will typically scare them, especially the board members, all of that, because they're often, the board members are members of other boards too. Mm-hmm. And so it's like one compromise here, and now
it's everywhere.
Yeah, that's right.
I love that, and I love that, tapping that concept of they're always more than one place when they're a board member, right? Like, how do you articulate the bridge between that privacy moment and that security moment?
The privacy then leads into a risk conversation. It has to center around risk. And now we talk about things like, they're like, well, we've got cyber liability insurance. I'm like, yes, that's risk transference.
Right.
So you're transferring a section of your risk. And then the other thing that we get into is a lot of times stuff like, well, we just thought you were handling all this for us, right? Just like, well, we can't assume your risk. We can advise on it, but we cannot assume it. We will never assume your risk. And so as we go through the cyber liability insurance questionnaires, things like that, it's very common for them to ask us to fill those out for them, and we refuse to do so.
Yeah.
So we will sit beside you,
as you
and we will talk it out, each box, what it really means, because we know what they're really asking. And then sometimes we go, yeah, you need to have legal red line this one, and completely, they're asking the wrong thing.
Right.
And that's okay. It's okay to do. Yep.
Last question. Mm-hmm. What's got you hopeful?
Some of the things that we're seeing kind of at the levels, whether it's CISA, whether some of them, some of the things that we're seeing as far as keeping people aware of latest activity. What are the commonalities between this known breach and this one, which might have been one? I think the CISO group, even though they themselves got breached a couple weeks ago, but I like seeing that unified body, and I like seeing the different people they brought in because it kind of gives people a touch point to say, okay, let's go see what CISO. It gives me something to point at. It says, well, if you're a publicly traded company, this is what CISO is recommending for you specifically, or otherwise, and this is what the SEC reporting looks like.
Right.
And we live in a world where the threat actors will report you to the SEC after they've compromised you.
It's been done.
It's been done. Yep.
All right. Well, this has been awesome. Thanks for coming by.
No, absolutely.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure. Yep.
And now for a brief word from our sponsor. Alford & Adams Consulting offers strategic and transformative cybersecurity consulting, fractional CISO and vCISO services. We offer assessments, plans, programs, and anything else you might need to be successful in your cybersecurity journey. We can even help you find good cyber insurers and good partners to help manage the day-to-day. Find out more at alfordandadams.com. That's ALFORDANDADAMS.com. Thank you.
All righty, so why don't you tell us what you do and why you do it?
Yeah, I am a security leader, CISO, and it is a passion of mine to build great things, and that's why. There's a lot of availability in this career to build things of value, to enable businesses, and every time I've been able to stand up something that enables the business, you get that sense of fulfillment and satisfaction. Like, hey, check this out. I was part of this. This was cool.
Yeah.
Right? So that's why I do what I do.
I love that answer, man.
If there's one thing that I've noticed in talking to several practitioners and CISOs just over the years is, versus other markets, right? There's this innate sense and drive to make change or affect change, to make a difference. There's we talk about mission over money. Those are keywords that are popping up in our conversation.
Yeah.
Mission, protection, community, and
noble purpose.
I love that so much.
Yeah. It's a noble purpose, and it's great to be a part of something so rewarding.
Right.
To know, hey, I'm the one who did that good thing over there.
Right. And I think, also the high stress of the position makes the reward that much greater. Right?
I like that.
There's a lot of oh crap moments when things are really stressful, and you've got to get all of the smartest people in the room to figure out the problem, and then once you do, the satisfaction that comes out of that is very fulfilling.
I love that. So what's your advice then for somebody who wants to do what you do?
It's a hot take. You ready?
Yeah.
The CISO role today has started to evolve, and I'm seeing a divergence away from remaining technical to be more, how do I enable the business? How do I get my other C-suite folk to see the value in what we're doing and how it drives the business forward? And I think we're starting to lose an eye on being the old wise graybeard. And there's a lot of companies that still need someone who can do both proficiently and both well.
Yeah.
Right? You can't tip that scale of balance, because then for those companies that are maybe a little bit on the smaller side but still entering that enterprise space, they require a person with expertise on both sides of that table equally.
Yeah.
And the hot take is, I think we need to challenge ourselves as CISOs to continue to get better, right? I want to be the best hacker in the room.
Yeah.
I want to be the best blue teamer in the room.
Yeah.
I want to be the guy that can take my red team and shred my business to pieces, but then show the business why there's value in making the changes that we recommend.
Be the best business leader in the room.
Exactly.
Too. Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's tough. It's a tough balancing act. Like, Do you think maybe there's a size of shop where that's applicable? In other words, business leader who can still configure a firewall sounds like a smaller environment more than an enterprise environment. Or
Sure. Yes, right. To an extent, as an organization grows, I think once you get over maybe 10,000 people, then you maybe split the role to a business CISO and a technical CISO.
Oh, nice.
Right. And we see a lot of businesses do that. Well, they'll bring in like a very technical vCISO, right, to fill that gap. But that just highlights the problem, right? If you're having to bring in somebody externally to fill a gap, then that highlights the shortage of that kind of talent in our environment.
Makes good sense.
What are you most hopeful for?
It's a really good question. I'm hopeful and scared for advancements in AI.
Yeah.
And what I'm hopeful for there is, can these tools really start to be force multipliers, not just fancy chatbots? Right. Can these tools start to take RPA processes to the next level?
Yeah.
Right. That's what I'm excited to see, but I'm also scared.
Yeah.
Right. So the next 5 to 10 years, I think, are just going to be on fire. I think things are going to move at a pace that we maybe saw at the beginning of the internet age when everybody was plugging in their dial-up modems, right? That was a big explosion of, all the new stuff. And I think as some of these AI tools and AI technologies mature and become a force multiplier rather than just some fancy tool that can spit out a better data aggregation for me, we're going to start to see these things move quickly. And I'm hopeful for it. But I'm also scared. Scared.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, thanks so much for coming out and chatting with us.
Yeah, thank you. This was great.
Alrighty. So tell us, what do you do and why the hell do you do it?
So I am the CEO of a consulting firm, and our job is to become our clients' trusted AI adoption partner. Now, there's a lot of products out there, and organizations are very confused on how to actually adopt AI and put it into sorry about that.
You're right.
Background noise. Organizations are really confused on where they should put AI and what are the preparatory steps that they need to take before they start letting it in their house. So really our job is to come in, assess the environment, talk to them about fundamentals. What are like the prerequisites? What are those things that they need to have done before they even start looking at this? Now we'll advise them of the things that they need to do after we do our assessment. Now it's up to them to own that risk whether or not we move forward. But then after that we jump into AI foundations. We always start with data governance readiness. That includes things like identifying it, finding where it exists,
classifying it.
Yeah, classifying it, layering IAM on top of it, understanding who's accessing it, and then really putting that data governance into place so that the models are being trained correctly and have an understanding and context of the data itself. So we do that end to end, and we are the world's first managed AI service provider.
Love it.
And really our goal is to come in a consultative approach, help with systems integration, and then manage it over time.
I love that. So here you are doing all this cool stuff.
Yeah.
Here's people that wish they were doing what you do. What do you tell them? How do they get started? How do they become you?
Oh man, just be curious. I mean, I think that there's with the backdrop of the open source community that really grew from like 2010 and beyond.
Yeah.
Especially, I think with like grandfathers like Linux and them being open source, I think the Hugging Face community in particular, I'm calling out, is so accessible and has like things that even if you don't have any money to spend to learn about this stuff, you can go on there as long as you have a working computer and a working connection to the internet. You can just go on there and just be a child, right? And be curious and relearn how to love learning.
Yeah,
I would say.
I love that.
Yeah, and just get out there, find the podcasts, find the newsletters. I love the Neuron I love Superpower Daily. All of our team members are required in their onboarding to subscribe to those.
And of course, the Audience First podcast and the Cyber Rant.
Yes, 100%. I didn't get to the list of podcasts. I was just talking about newsletters. Those were the top 2 on my list.
There we go.
Yeah.
A+.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done, sir.
Yeah, and just be curious and start to learn. There's lots of free things out there. You don't have to pay for it. Don't let someone cajole you into paying thousands of dollars for some executive certification. You don't need that right now. You need to understand the fundamentals. And a lot of the times, the courses on the fundamentals are absolutely free.
I love it.
Yeah.
What's got you hopeful?
People still ask questions.
Yes.
People still ask questions. And I think it's how to continue to allow that to happen. And it's tough because in this digital world, sometimes when you ask a question, you run into a brick wall and then you don't want to ask it again. So it's giving a forum and a platform where more people of all ages, and especially the kids coming up these days, can ask more questions. You know, I look at Morgan, I look at one of my daughters, and I look at her, and thankfully she's sarcastic and savvy enough to ask more questions than probably most people do. But then I take a look at Allan's kids, and the almost 9-year-old is completely into tech, and it's this weird dynamic where she's just embedded with us. So it's like, okay, you pull it away, and there's like these withdrawal symptoms, and Nadia, bless her, loves her online stuff, but she's at least asking questions as well. So on one hand, I think I love the fact that people ask questions, but on the other hand, I'm concerned that we haven't given them a better forum where they can ask them of us or of people around us. There's not a good forum where people can ask it and get, I think, a sensible answer.
Get a sensible answer and not feel afraid to ask the question. It's 2 things.
Yeah, I think it's, I think there's other things as well. Is we, as a society, we're not doing a good job of allowing people to not just speak and voice their opinions, but also be able to accept good information. Like the 3 of us sit here, we can have a very, very good conversation, and we can have an intellectual conversation, and we can have a very meaningful conversation because we can look each other in the eyes. Yet we take the physical apart and we do it online, or we go online and we try to have the same conversation. The consequences of saying something or getting retorted against have disappeared. Mm-hmm. So I can go Monty Python on you and basically go, your mother was warthog and your father smelled of elderberries.
Right.
And there's nothing you're going to do. Whereas if I do that to you now, you can reach across the table and go Texan on me.
Right.
That's the difference.
Yep.
So I don't know how we bring that level of, humanity back into this digital world when we're stripping it away second by second by second.
It's funny. I'm totally going on a tangent here myself, but this whole idea like 4chan and this idea that everybody's anonymous by default, they saw that as a move against the egotism of everyone having a name and a handle. But what it's turned into is an excuse to behave like an absolute jackwagon in ways that you would never do in the real world.
Yeah.
It's a cesspool because of that anonymity. It's an absolute cesspool.
Yeah. I mean, it just breeds it, and I think that's the problem is you see more, and then people can get away with it, so they think they can get away with it elsewhere. Mm-hmm. Then even on LinkedIn they get away with it. Dani and I had a ridiculously heartfelt conversation, a week or 2 ago?
A couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and it was, I made a mistake. I put something up that I probably should have thought about more so.
Right.
And unfortunately, some people looked at it. It's no different than the flipping crochet dicks I just put up yesterday.
Yeah.
Some people looked at the picture, looked at the first 2 sentences and reacted. Others looked at it, read the whole thing, understood where it was coming from, and went, okay, we get it. Probably could have been a bit more sensitive about it, but we get it. So, and then the ones that reacted, I'm playing delete games all the time, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, this just isn't worth the hassle. I kid you not, I almost sat down there about 2 hours later, I almost just deleted my LinkedIn account and said to heck with it. I just can't be arsed with social media because people can't behave like people.
Yeah, even civilized discourse can eat your soul in that environment.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Yeah.
there have been times that I mean, how many times have I been on my podcast and said, messages like, let's be business forward and these kinds of things. And then I'll do some brief summary or make some comment and everyone's like, but you need to be business forward. And you get slammed for failing to point out every facet of everything every time.
Well, I see what you go through on the Tinkerers.
Yeah.
I mean, you've taken so many lumps and bumps and bruises on the Tinkerers for people that I think if we were sat around a table like this,
it'd be a whole different story.
Exactly. And that's I don't know how we put that back in. I don't know how we go back to being human in such a digital realm and an increasingly digital realm as well. I mean, that's the fun thing about being at CISO XC, the fun thing about the Tinkerers, GERCON, and a bunch of the other conferences is you come in and it is family.
Yeah.
The challenge is then having these is being able to still retain this family when you're not physically together.
Right.
Is how do we maintain that?
And you're right. I've gotten the crap beat out of me in that environment, in that forum.
Yeah.
And my response at the end of it, probably the worst session I can think of in the last many, many years of just getting my ass kicked on the internet, I responded with vulnerability.
Yeah.
That was my solution. And I thought, this is going to disarm them. It didn't.
That's the point. I don't think it does. And I'm me on the internet. I mean, let's face it. And I think for the most part, I think it's relatively accepted these days. But there are still people. I mean, thank goodness for the block button. I hate to say it. It's not a perfect world, but there are times, and everybody's like, oh, you shouldn't block or you can't block. I'm like, hate to say it, if it's my LinkedIn and it's my post, I'm putting the dictator hand up on that one. Sometimes, not always.
Yeah.
I try to, but there are times, and sometimes it's just I just don't want to deal with humans.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, this is super insightful. I mean, I love the brutal honesty as always from this guest. So thank you.
This anonymous guest.
Yes.
whom no one can identify. Well, thank you so much, anonymous guest.
Love it. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for chatting.
All right. How about you tell us, what do you do and why the hell do you do it?
Great question. So I am a Chief Information Security Officer. I also run infrastructure and networking for my firm. I do it, a lot of it, because I'm good at it.
Yes.
That's a good answer.
Great answer.
But I also really enjoy it.
Good.
So.
All right. Here you are doing it well, doing it because you enjoy it. Mm-hmm. And here's somebody else that wants to be you. What's your advice to them?
I really always ask them why.
Nice.
Why do you want to do what I do? And also then I ask them, what do you think I do? Because I think that really gets to the meat of it. There are a million ways to do this without having a specific title or without working in a specific type of firm. But I think the most important thing is to examine why you're trying to do that, and then you can go down whatever path you decide to go down.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Not the first person to tell us that today.
Yeah.
Ask
just
why.
A, what are your assumptions? And B, why?
Yeah. Do you think I just sit in my office and talk on phone calls? Because that's not what it is.
It's the C-suite.
Yeah.
That is what we do.
I am in my ivory tower.
What's got you hopeful in cybersecurity?
I am very hopeful. There's a lot of energy around it right now. So I think that's very exciting. I think there are a lot of people weighing in from different worlds. I think we are getting more open. There are people coming from different backgrounds. I do a lot of interviews and a lot of hiring. And I've talked to people that are coming from other industries entirely, school teachers, a librarian, and they're interested in it, and there are so many resources available for them to be able to start getting involved. I think that's the coolest thing, because we'll have a lot more diversity of thought than I think we've ever had, and I think that is the coolest, best thing.
Oh, that is awesome. That is the best answer I've heard all day.
100%. I love it.
That. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.